Hi everybody, welcome back for another video. Today I'm testing the Lifelite outside with Byrna kinetic projectiles for accuracy and distance. I'm also going to do a flashlight test versus a small but powerful Olight. So I'll talk to you a minute about the Lifelite, and I've done videos on this before. This is really great, but it just occurred to me that and this should be obvious to anyone that this is a flashlight, and by definition you're probably not going to be using it during the daytime. It's really bright here, and I just went out and I shined it on the side of the house, and you can see the video. It is very hard to see the red laser. It just does. It's there. I could see it with my eye, but when I look at it on the camera, it's very hard to see. You probably can't see it. I'm outside here with the Lifelite. I want to see just how far the laser can be seen. I got it open here. You can see the laser right there. But as I go back further, I'm like maybe 20 feet. I can still see it right here, but it's not very bright. This is for more for up close and personal. If you're going to use it during the daytime, because you are literally point shooting with this thing. You're finding a target and you're pointing, because that red, you're not going to be able to find it very easily. Let's see what we see here. So open it up. You can see the red light on the tree. I don't know if you can see it. I can see the red light. See the red light on the tree. But to find that tiny little red light at 20 feet on a target would be very difficult. And so you're essentially point shooting with this. And I would probably recommend that you just carry this at night. Use it as a flashlight. There's no point carrying this around during the daytime. It's heavy, it's bulky. Use it at night. Then you've got the laser sight, and it could be really effective, especially at night, because when you're shining that flashlight and then you have the ability to follow that up with a pepper ball, that's a really great combination. Daytime like this, if you're out and about, I don't recommend it unless you just absolutely have no other option, especially around here. It might be useful for wildlife or things like that, where you just may have to use it up close. Dog, whatever might be coming. So there are certainly applications. Okay, we've got the Lifelite, 20 feet, sunset view. Let's give it a shot. We've got a target. Let's see how accurate it is. Shooting Byrna kinetic rounds. Too low. Too low. I'm bouncing them. Okay, last one. Okay, let's go check it out. So there's that one. We actually did have one that penetrated and tried to go. Part of this went through partially through the inner box. I had two boxes, a box within a box. Okay, ready? We're going to do the same thing again. Let's do 5 more shots. Same CO2. Trying to aim a little bit differently. Bouncing back. That one went through. Bouncing back. Okay, finished 10 shots. This one still has some air in it, so I want you to see what it does when you take it out and it still has some air. Oh yeah, that was a... Get all the air out, but I let out the air through unscrewing the cap. So my conclusion, this Lifelite, you know, as we expect, it's not a powerful, this thing is not a beast, even though it runs at 12 grams CO2. I learned one thing when I degassed it, that there is a little vent right here that I did not know about, because when the air came out, I actually had a sensation that was coming out from here, but I realized it was actually coming out of a little vent hole here. So it does have sort of a pressure relief system built in, probably for safety reasons, and that that's something interesting that I did not know about. The other thing is that this thing, as we expected, is not that powerful. I did 10 shots outside at 20 feet, and this was a real 20 feet, was not inside the house like I did before. We had hits, I can't say that any of them were on target. Everything was a little off, so I think the laser is not as well at a real 20 feet as it should be, so it probably needs to be sighted. But there were hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's another one here, 8, and I think there was 1 or 2 that I bounced, that hit like just before and bounced. 1 or 2 went through, and you saw that, and it went through all the way, but the majority of them hit and bounced back. So at 20 feet, this Lifelite doesn't have power to even get through the cardboard using the kinetic rounds. So I don't know, I don't really think that the kinetic rounds are going to be that useful at 20 feet. Now, at point blank, as you get closer and closer, I showed you before in the prior video, if you take a look at that one, as you get in within 10 feet or so, it starts to become a little more potent and a little more practical. But at 20 feet, and I originally was planning to do 30 feet and decided not to do 5 more shots at 30 feet because it's just not going to be making any impact. And in fact, I probably would have been bouncing those as well. So I think I learned a few things. It's good to get the Lifelite out once in a while and test it out and show you what it can and cannot do. Only Scaredy Cat TV waits until the middle of summer on the very longest day of the year with the most sunlight in order to do flashlight testing. Exactly the opposite from everybody else who does this in November and December. But that's what we're doing. So as soon as it gets dark and I'm waiting and waiting, I'm gonna get the Lifelite out here and I'm gonna do some tests and we'll see what we get. All right, so what I'm showing you here is the Lifelite on the left, and on the right is an Olight SRII. And you can see that on low power, they're very similar, but as soon as I take that Olight up to turbo mode, it just completely is dominant. This is the Olight on the turbo mode, the tiny little flashlight. But the Lifelite does a pretty good job, and I'll show you here. This is the Lifelite. That's more than enough, 300 lumens. For whatever you might need. But, you know, the one thing that this Lifelite I found was most useful for is, of course, Mango likes it. And, you know, she will chase the red dot. Here she goes. Will she see it? Yes.